Welcome to episode 21 of Rewind Heroes. We're illegal to drink. I'm your co-host, Greg Compton.
And he's legal to drink. I'm Dan Gaines, and this is going to be, I'm not even call it your weekly video podcast. This is going to be your video podcast where we decide to come up, talk to you about movies, television, music, everything that Greg and I find cool.
We're your fairly frequent podcast. Exactly. That's right. It's been a little while.
Exactly right.
It's been a little while. We've been busy. Life's kind of gotten out of hand. It's been a little crazy, but we're back. And this episode, I think we're going to talk about all the stuff, not even just a fall preview, but really I call it end of the year preview.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff coming out in the back half of this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And then in Recos, I think we'll just kind of cover what we've been kind of watching and getting into for the last few weeks since we've last left you. So should we just go ahead and get into it and get into a fall preview?
I can't think of another reason why to delay this one more second, except I just did.
And go.
All right, Greg, so one of my favorite times of year is summer blockbuster season, but this year did not live up to expectations.
Not quite.
We had a lot of movies that were subpar, a lot of movies that people were excited about, but I'm confident we're going to end this year strong. We've got some great fall and winter movies, and I think we need to get right into it. What's the first movie we've got?
Magnificent Seven. We've talked about this before, so excited for it. I don't know if I've been this excited for a remake in a long time, actually.
That's a good point.
But no, it seems great. I mean, you've got Denzel Washington, Vincent D'Onofrio, you've got Chris Pratt. I mean, you have, is Ethan Hawke's in this, I believe,
yes.
too? I mean, you got a massive cast. We talked about before, but...
Exactly. I mean, overall, the cast is what does it for me. I'm excited about it. We all know generally what the story's about, but the cast is phenomenal. It just looks like a fun movie and a great way to start the fall season.
Oh, I'm all about it.
But I got to say, I'm probably just as excited about the all-male cast as still Magnolias. So what do we have next?
So, what was that movie that you're... There's a movie coming out this year that you're kind of excited about.
Sci-fi epic. Star Wars Rogue One. Come on.
There you go.
I'm not going to say anything else. We've talked about it. I think we've mentioned this thing almost every other episode. It feels like Dan has mentioned it almost every other episode. I can't help it.
I'm excited for it, too.
I'm pumped. So it's going to be a great way to go into the holiday season once again. We're probably not probably, I know, on September 29th, you're going to see stores explode with Rogue One merchandise. You're going to see signage. You're going to see promotions. We're all going to have no doubt that Rogue One hits theaters this Christmas. I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm very excited for that. Now, switch gears a little bit. We don't normally talk dramatic films, but the trailer, we did talk about this trailer. Birth of a Nation is coming out. Heard good things. Taking the title from a very early controversial film. But this thing, the trailer just looks like you're not going to walk out of this thing with a dry eye. I mean,
no, it looks intense.
It looks intense, but it looks amazing. I am definitely, it has Oscar written all over it. But I'm very much interested in this.
I am too, and you bring up a good point because we don't talk about these films a lot on this show, but we do like these kinds of movies.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know, it just looks like an extremely powerful film. You're gonna remember this one for a while.
It looks well shot. The score, everything. It almost reminds you of 12 Years a Slave as far as the visuals of it. I mean, but it looks really well done. Now, speaking of other kind of Oscar buzz, there's one that you're looking forward to more than me. Not that I'm not, but it's more you.
Hey, you don't have to explain yourself to me. It is a movie about the origin of the Happy Meal. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, who's with me? I'm talking about Michael Keaton's The Founder. I know, it sounds kind of silly. It's a movie about the formation of McDonald's. But, you know what, Greg? We did get a movie that was about Facebook I enjoyed it. So, I don't know, but Michael Keaton's why I'm excited about it. He's been on fire with last year's Spotlight, the year before that, Birdman. The guy can act, and I love seeing him in these serious roles because I don't know, he didn't used to do these types of things.
I like to see him back. Is the big thing. And I will see this movie because of him. That's going to carry it. That, I want to know why the McNugget is shaped like Indiana. But aside from that, it's not a story that really interests me, but if it's handled well with Keaton, it could be one of those things where subject matter doesn't matter.
Well, and the only thing
the way the story is told.
Honestly, this movie was supposed to come out in August, and what got me more excited is they moved it to the awards season. So that tells you they feel pretty strong about it.
And I think the thing is, too, I joke, it's just a movie about McDonald's, but I think the thing that will be interesting is it's not the guy that created McDonald's. It's the guy that figured out really how to franchise this. And I don't know, but it comes off like he took advantage of those people. I don't know the story.
I don't either.
But that might be the thing where it's like, it's not the subject matter what this man did with it.
Right.
So I don't know. It could be interesting. Yeah.
So what's next?
What's next is one that probably I'm more interested than you, but that is Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. And, I saw the first one. I was, it's a long series of books. Was never really my thing, but I saw the first one, just kind of clicked on it on demand, free or something like that. Pleasantly surprised. Liked it better than some of the Mission Impossible movies. I mean, it was a really good one for Tom Cruise. I know people complain that the character is supposed to be very Schwarzenegger-esque in the books as far as just a big Stallone-ish kind of guy, and they got
they went
5'8". That's my size, 5'8". Tom Cruise, but not really having reference point. I liked it. This one has Kobe Smulders in it from How I Met Your Mother. Trailer, it looks good. It's not winning any awards, but I mean, I think I'll eat some popcorn and watch this thing and give it a go. So what do you got next on the list?
So the next one for me is one of those, it just needs to be mentioned. I think it's a big time movie this fall, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This lives in the whimsical world of Harry Potter.
Whimsical.
You like how I use that? I was never a huge Harry Potter guy. I didn't read the books, but I at least appreciate them for what they are. I think they were very well done. I know it has a huge following. So I'm interested. The trailer definitely looks interesting to me. I've always had an issue with films just starring kids, which is interesting because we love Stranger Things.
Right.
But that was one thing that always kind of turned me off of that, wizards and kids. It just seemed almost too much of a kid film.
Right.
But the fact that Freddie Highmore's in this one, it has my interest. What about you?
It does. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan. I've read a few of the books, not all of them. I might pick them back up and read them. It was always a world that I wanted to really like. If I was a kid when those came out, I think I would have really been into it.
And that could be part of it.
I mean, I like the John Williams score. We've talked, last issue, whatever we do, show, thing. We talked about John Williams music, and it makes you want to love those movies, makes you want to love that whole world. Because of the great score. So, I don't know. I'm interested. I like that they're taking it and putting it in like a 40s, 30s, 40s setting. Yep. I'm not sure, but it is back there. That's kind of a cool deal. I mean, you're really not dealing with any of the main characters, but you've got, was it Eddie Redmayne is the actor in this? Of course, with his voice and stuff in the character, he seems kind of like a skittish, odd character, but again, that fits the world.
And he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and I think it's going to be visually stunning. So I'm in for the ride. I've seen all the Harry Potter films. I read a few books, saw all the films. I'm in for it. Let's see what it's got.
Absolutely. So what do you got next for us?
The Arrival. Yeah, I was waiting for you to cue me, and you just didn't cue me. I'm like, come on, give me a cue. Give me a cue. The Arrival. This one's got Jennifer Lawrence.
We were going to arrive there, Greg.
We were going to arrive there, and we have. I don't know. This one's. I started to say the wrong film. No, this one's Amy Adams. I started talking about The Passenger because you said Arrival, Passenger. It's all travel.
There's a lot of good stuff.
No, Amy Adams. And also Jeremy Renner's in this one too. Did we talk about this one on a previous show, or we talked about talking about this?
I think we talked about talking about it, and then we.
I don't know if we did. We do these shows, and I can't remember everything we talked about. It was an amazing trailer. She's brought in basically to kind of, with language, figure out what's going on. There has been contact. They're opening that up. That trailer looks really, really good.
To me, I saw signs of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I see things like Contact. It reminded me that in that way where they are trying to figure out how to interact with them.
But could it be Contact meets Independence Day? You don't know. And that's kind of the cool thing. You don't know.
And I didn't know much about this film until we saw the trailer. I had not heard much buzz about it. I don't know if this is based off of anything. You have any?
I'm not sure. I don't think it is.
But it looks interesting. I mean, I'm definitely wanting to check it out, and it looks like the kind of film you want to see on the big screen.
Well, they cut a trailer in the way that I like, where they do not give the whole story away.
Agreed.
And so it seems like an interesting premise. I want to know more, so I'm going to buy the ticket and go see the movie. That's a cue to DC. Don't put everything. Don't do the cliff notes in your trailer, because then there's no reason to go see the movie. But yeah, The Arrival looks very interesting. Amy Adams is a great actress, so. I'm in. It could be Aliens meets Contact meets Independence Day meets Flight Navigator. Okay, maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. What else do we have next? So, I kind of hinted to this one earlier.
Well, speaking of cast, because I think this is what really drives. Honestly, it's why this one's on the list, because we haven't been told much. And that's Passengers. This stars Jennifer Lawrence. It's Chris Pratt. I mean, these are two of Hollywood's biggest up-and-comers.
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know much other than it is going to be some kind of a sci-fi adventure drama. But we've seen a poster, we've seen the cast, they're an astronaut.
The poster's just recent. I mean, there'd been a leak of some lobby
stuff.
stuff.
We have not gotten a teaser trailer or anything
I believe, is it something that they're like frozen or in a hibernation for a long journey or something? They're woken up early, or they wake up early or something. I mean, that's all I've heard.
Yeah, it's been pretty kept under wraps, really.
I mean, I think it's the fact that there's much buzz about this. I think it says a lot about Jennifer Lawrence, says a lot about Chris Pratt.
Definitely.
I mean, he's a good dude, and everything he's doing is like gold right now. So I mean, that's why I'm going to go see it.
Well, think about it. All they've given us is a picture of their faces and said "Passenger." Oh, I got to go see that.
And had them talking about they just wrapped a movie called Passengers.
Exactly.
But I mean, he's on the tour for Magnificent Seven, so
yep.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it's going to have to live up to some hype.
It's kind of strange how some movies can get big like that.
It is strange,
Speaking
just like
strange.
Doctor Strange.
I
hope that movie should have a PhD in strangeness because it looks amazing. We've talked about it, so we don't have to get into it. But
no, but there have been some posters and things.
There have been more posters, more photos.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm ready for the weird. Bring the weird. I mean, come on. There's already weirdness in the Marvel universe. They talked about. Oh, it's kind of strange. Well, you're getting Ego, the Living Planet, and Guardians 2. I mean.
It's going to be a nice transition, really.
Yeah, I mean, you've got gods and so okay, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, and there's been hints that this is going to directly connect to Guardians 2, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it'll be. This is one of those with Rogue One for me that I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. It can't get here soon enough. But luckily, that one's not too far away.
Yeah.
And we were saying things that are strange, and what's more strange than an accountant?
Accounting is
those are some interesting folks. But no, the movie The Accountant, starring Ben Affleck, it's one of those, again, you're watching it. I don't know a lot of the story, but it's got me interested. He looks we've kind of compared him to almost a Jason Bourne type character.
Yeah.
He looks like a total badass. And the scene where someone's like, "Who are you?" And the elevator opens and he's standing there. And then the word just comes up, The Accountant. It's kind of funny in a way when you think of it like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it looks really good.
It's like taking this odd name and then putting in this action kind of vibe to it. Though when you see the trailer, they talk about his off-the-charts intelligence and he's a little quirky. That leads. I mean, it's kind of hard to follow that trailer a little bit as far as where they're really going to go with the story. But I mean, enough to intrigue me.
Exactly, a very well put together trailer.
It looks like a twist on your typical action film. So I think those are the ones we're really looking forward to. I mean, there's more, but I mean that's kind of our list.
Yeah, it's tough because when you're trying to do this and scale it back, I mean, it's tough to limit it.
But that's it. I think that's what we're really looking forward to. Now it's been a while since we've done an episode. We probably seem a little rusty. That's okay. I think we
definitely not a well-oiled machine like our previous 20.
Exactly. But, we're drinking age now, so in the next episode, we'll be loopy. Not really. But I think we should go ahead. We'll get into some recommendations about stuff that we've actually... I mean, we always do recommendations, something here or there, but we've got a few weeks to kind of take off and watch some things, read some things, listen to some things. So whatever we've got, we'll throw you some recommendations. Let's get to that.
Let's do it. All right, Greg, so we've got a lot. What are you going to recommend first?
The first thing I'm going with is a Showtime series, Roadies.
Okay.
This is from Cameron Crowe. So if you've seen Almost Famous, this guy definitely has a love for music. So he's written and directed. He directed the first few episodes of this. Cool. Season 1 is out. It's 10 episodes. It stars Luke Wilson, Carla Gugino, Imogen Poots, Ron White. It's just... It really follows a group of roadies that are on tour for a fictional band called the Staten House Band. And they're going to all these venues, and they've weaved in Cameron Crowe's love of music so well. I mean, first of all, the characters, each one is very unique. Just you fall in love with all the characters. But they have, for sound check, the audio girl is always putting a song up in whatever venue they're at. For the most part. So you're always, and they write on the screen what the artist and the song is. So it's giving great play to people. You get to learn music that you may not have known. A lot of indie music is what this is. But then also the running gag on the show is they cannot keep an opening act. Something goes wrong and the opening act always splits or bails for some reason, so they're always having to get someone else.
That's cool.
This is given a chance to get really cool opening acts. In here, you get The Head and the Heart. You get, Luscious. I wasn't too much of a fan of that band, but then they had Halsey, they had Lindsey Buckingham, which is huge, and he does an acoustic version of Big Love, which if you've ever heard that is insane. And I don't know, I mean, he's playing guitar, basically a rhythm with his thumb on the bottom strings, and he's playing. It sounds like two guitars at once. I mean, if you've ever heard him do that, it's phenomenal. It's on The Dance, which is a live album by Fleetwood Mac, is the first time I heard it. But he does it on here impeccably. Mellencamp, for you Indiana folks, he's in here once giving a guitar lesson to a kid on Woody Guthrie's guitar, and the kid spills a power drink on it. There's so many. Eddie Vedder's in it at the end. Jackson Brown's in it. I mean, just a ton of people. And then they put out the soundtrack, which are the recordings from the show. So if they're doing this song during a sound check, and you hear a couple roadies singing along in the background, that's what you're getting in the recording. Wow. It is really, really a well-done show, very heartfelt, highly recommend it. I think you should check it out too. Even if you're not a huge music person, it's just great storytelling, as only Cameron Crowe can really do. So that's my big one. What have you got?
Yeah, so a lot of stuff has come out in theaters, so I've kind of been trying to knock some of these movies out, but the one that I just recently saw that stuck with me was Tom Hanks' Sully. For those of you that don't remember, that's when the aircraft went down in the Hudson back in 2009. And it was kind of cool to see this film from kind of seeing all what went on behind the scenes. We all remember that story, but the investigation, and this is Clint Eastwood's newest film. And it was kind of fun because there's also, if you go check it out, there's a hidden cameo on one part of this that I thought was kind of well done. But it's very, very good. Aaron Eckhart stars in this with Tom Hanks, and these two are great chemistry. Tom Hanks, he's just the man, though. I mean, I just love everything he's in. Honestly, no matter what it is, if I see he's in it, I want to go check it out. But this is probably, in my opinion, one of his best. I mean, his performance was spot on. This movie starts with the crash, and from that on, they're trying to figure out what the heck went wrong. I can't recommend it enough, so check it out. Sully just came out this past week.
I would say between that one and when he was the captain of the boat that got hijacked by pirates, Captain Phillips, to Castaway, have we all learned do not travel with Tom Hanks?
And Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. Do not travel with Tom Hanks.
That's true.
Of those, was there any other movies? Just you don't have to review, but just ones that you're like,
another one
check
I
this out.
saw that actually I liked, and we didn't talk about this. I saw Peach Dragon.
Okay.
And a good one to take the kids. I mean, it's
cool.
Definitely very family friendly, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It had a lot of roots. You felt a lot of inspiration from Spielberg and a lot of the era that we like. So yeah, I can't recommend that one enough as well.
Awesome. Which also reminds me, I saw Jungle Book finally. I know you had seen it in the theater. I finally saw it with my oldest, who loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
it was
excellent. It's beautiful. Too.
Yeah, I could do without the Christopher Walken singing. I Want to Be Like You.
See, I kind of liked it.
I'd rather listen to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy sing that, or the original one with Louis Prima, I think. But other than that, no, it was great. It was
Did you notice the cowbell? Please tell me you noticed the cowbell.
Yes, I noticed the cowbell. Yes.
Sorry. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
Exactly. And then the only other thing I could mention too is O.A.R, which is probably one of my favorite bands I've mentioned before. Probably at this point, like 3 weeks ago, came out with their album XX, so 20, which I almost wanted to mention for our 20th episode, but we did movie scores, so it didn't line up. Just, if you haven't really listened to them, it's a good starting point because it's a double disc. The first one has 2 new songs, which are really good, and then just kind of a smattering of their stuff. Some are re-recorded for this album, which kind of have more density to them. And it's kind of, you can tell that these songs have been on the road for years, and they've kind of record them to how they've evolved them over live. And then the second album of it is just all live recordings of some of their greatest stuff. So it just kind of gives you a good feel for the band. So check that out.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that it?
I think that's it. I think that's what we've been into.
Yeah,
so
feels good to be back.
It does. It does.
Gosh, we promise we're not going to do that again.
No, there's going to be more.
Why do I make promises that I can't keep?
I don't know.
But we've got a lot of really good shows lined up. We were sitting down earlier before we did this, and I got to tell you, we're excited. This is probably a nice string of episodes.
And one we'll tell you to look forward to in October at some point. We're not sure when we want to put this out, but we're going to do a Halloween extravaganza of just all our favorite movies and music, maybe TV shows, what's your favorite candy bar, whatever. Just all the stuff that we love about Halloween because we really dig Halloween.
Definitely.
And I know a particular band that's really good for that, but we'll get into that later. So until next time, be kind.
And please rewind.